All right, boys and girls, hello again. It's that time. It's time for us to share a story together. And today, guys, we're going to continue in our study of the concept of home with a new book titled Home. Now, from our book that we read before this one, Home is a Window, we discussed or we talked about how home is not necessarily just the house or the type of house that you live in. It's more than that. Home is the place where you live, you laugh, and you learn. It's somewhere where you are loved and cared for. And remember, we learned that it doesn't matter whether our home is an apartment or a house or any of the different kinds of homes that we've studied in our previous books. As long as it's a place where there is love and care there, it is our home. It's where we are with our family. So we're going to continue to look at that idea in this new story. Again, the title of our book that we're reading today is Home. Our author and illustrator is the same person. Her name is Carson Ellis. So let's see the different kinds of people and the places that they call home. Let's go ahead and do our book song and then we can get started with our read. Take a look at my book. Shh, shh. Take a look at my book. Shh, shh. Take a look, take a look, take a look at my book. Take a look at my book. Shh, shh. Again, the title of our story, friends, is Home. Our author and illustrator, Carson Ellis. So let's get started, shall we? Home is a house in the country. Look at this house, friends. When I look at this illustration, I see this house is in a neighborhood where it's the only home around. I see lots of open space. The air is open. There's lots of greenery. There's trees and flowers. And I even see two horses. One, two. This home is in the country. Friends, the country is a land area that is away from the big city where there's lots of open space and greenery. There are homes in the country, but homes in the country are not close together like they are in the city. There is space for them to be spread out. So, this is a house in the country. Or home can be an apartment. Here we see an apartment building. An apartment building has homes for many people in one spot. And this apartment building looks like it's in the city. Some homes are boats, like this ship right here. Some homes are wigwams. Look at this right here. This is a wigwam, friends. A wigwam is a traditional home of Native Americans in the past. It's very similar to a teepee. So here we see a wigwam. Some homes are palaces or underground lairs. Look at this giant home here. This is a palace. A palace is a large and beautifully decorated home that people live in. And it's especially a home for someone who's royal, like a king or queen. But then look at this little hidey hole down here. This is a lair. A lair is a hiding spot or a secret place. So if you have something like these guys have, which looks like to be a pile of gold, they've got some treasure, you might want to put it in a lair, a secret hiding space that nobody could find. Home might even be a shoe. Look at the little old lady who lived in the shoe. Look at all of these children. they live in this shoe. Now, I know this is imaginary because people don't live in shoes, but in your imagination or in fairy tales, they can. French people live in French homes. Atlanteans make their home underwater. Look at this guy. He's under the water. His home is under the water. And Atlantis, friends, is a make-believe place. It's an underwater island. It's an island that sunk into the water after an earthquake in some Greek stories. So if you lived on Atlantis, you would live under the water. So you'd have to know how to swim. And some folks live on the road. Look at these guys. They're in a band. And when you're in a band, sometimes you do a lot of shows or concerts. And you have to go from place to place. So the best home for you would be one that you can move around. So this band, this family, they live on a tour bus. Clean homes, messy homes, tall homes, short homes. Sea homes, bee homes, hollow tree homes. So even animals have places that they can call home. Fish live in the sea. Bees live in hives. And I think that this is a mouse or a rat. He could live in the hollow or the empty space inside of a tree. Animals have homes just like we do. But whose home is this? Who do you think lives on this empty mountaintop? And what about this? Who do we think lives in this home? Close to the ground, where there are snails and mushrooms, moths and slugs. Who do we think lives in that home? I think maybe a worm lives in that home. It's a small home. Or some other sort of bug, maybe a beetle. I don't know. Who in the world lives here? Look at this home. This home looks like it's in space. I made that inference because I looked at the sky behind it and it looks very, very dark. And I see lots and lots of stars and moons. And I even see Saturn back there. And this home is inside of a glass bubble or dome. So this makes me think that maybe the air outside is not safe. And I know that when people are in space, they have to wear a helmet or they lived in an enclosed space and not just out in the air. So that's why I think this home is in space. So maybe an astronaut lives there. This is the home of a Slovakian duchess. And this is the home of a Kenyan blacksmith. So look at these two houses. These houses are in different spots. Slovakia is a country in Europe, and Kenya is a country in Africa. And we can see that the homes are made differently. This is the home of a Japanese businessman, and this is the home of a Norse god. So even these two homes, these are homes in different places. Japan is a country in Asia, and Norse is an adjective that we use to describe things from Norway. And Norway is in Europe. So even these homes are different as well. A babushka lives here, and a Moonian lives here. A babushka is the Russian word for grandma. So it's a Russian grandma or a little old lady. So she lives in this home on the left, And someone who lives on the moon, a Moonian, would live in this home on the right. What do you guys think a Moonian looks like? A raccoon lives here. Look at this cozy den. And an artist lives here. So look at this studio. She's got all her materials there. I think the artist in this illustration is the author of this book. I think that's Carson sitting at her arts table. This is my home. That's Carson in the window. And this is me. Where is your home? And where are you? And that, my friends, is the end of our book. So now you guys are going to have a really cool opportunity to create an art project based on home. And there are two ways that you guys can do it. You can create artwork based on your actual home that you live in right now with your family, or you can make an art project about your dream home. So, what is the type of home that you don't have now, but a home that you really, really want? So, if I'm thinking about my actual home, the home that I live in right now with my family, my home now is an apartment. And this is actually really funny. Something that the girl in this picture and I have in common is that I see a cat in her window. And whenever I look at my window in my apartment, I know that one of my cats is always in the window. So that's a similarity that she and I share. We both live in apartments and we both have cats that like to sit in the window. So this is my current home. But if I'm thinking about my dream home would be a palace, a big, large home with all sorts of fancy things inside of it, lots of space, and a million things to do inside of it. My palace would have a pool, it would have an ice cream shop, it would have a big yard where I could have all of my friends over. I would have a big, 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 big bed. So those are the kinds of things that I would want in my dream home, a palace. So again, friends, when you guys are done reading the story, you guys can create an artwork based on your current home that you live in or your dream home. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this book. This is another book that we can find online, so I'll put the link for the book below so that you can check it out on your own. All right, guys, see you later.